2023 Bronco Outer Banks. Seems like a nice enough vehicle. What if I told you your Bronco was a spy? Lots of information in the news these days about cars spying on their owners. A little rainy outside, so we've got some ambiance. You know, modern cars are technical marvels, but they are insidious. In this case, we have a fairly new Ford vehicle that comes with something called Ford Pass and connectivity. And boy, that just sounds great. We are going to help you live your life. We're going to do everything for you. Connect your phone to your car, make your life easier. Remember, folks, nothing is free. The price you pay here is all of your personal information, all your data, everything you do, everywhere you go is recorded by your car or downloaded from your phone and sent to the car manufacturers, in this case Ford Motor Company. They then turn around and sell that information to groups like LexisNexis and other groups that build a profile on you and sell that profile to insurance companies, law enforcement agencies, and Lord only knows who else. When you buy one of these new vehicles, one of the first things the salesman will do is get you to sign up and activate the Ford Pass system. Seems pretty exciting. You're getting your new car, it has all these features, all this wonderful stuff. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, sign me up. It's free, right? As I said before, nothing is free. The first time that I drove this vehicle, I was like everybody else. I couldn't wait to hook my phone up to it. And man, everything that was on my phone was now on the car. What a convenience. You know, my maps, everywhere I went, all of a sudden is on the big screen in the dash. Wow, that's really cool. Until you realize that now the car has taken over the phone. If I wanted to do something on the phone, I couldn't do it. I had to do it through the car. So it didn't take very long before I didn't connect my phone to the car any longer. I've been driving for a lot of years. I never needed to have my phone connected to the car. I drove a lot of years before I even had a phone in the car. So I didn't need all that fancy smanchy stuff. I didn't need to unlock the doors from my phone. I didn't need to start the engine before I got to the car. I didn't need all that crap. Now comes the revelation through several news stories, and we'll try to put some links to those stories in the description, about the car companies collecting data and selling it. And you combine that with the current government uproar over TikTok, and you got to ask yourself, what's the difference? Why is it a problem that TikTok collects data to its users and, in theory at least, sends it back to the Chinese, when the car companies collect far more information on your life and sell it to whoever they feel like? Could be the Chinese, could be the Russians, could be anybody. How do we know? So, this all came to light through an article primarily printed in the New York Times, and I don't think we can link that article because you have to have a subscription to read it. But basically, there were a lot of GM owners that were complaining that their insurance rates had gone up. And when they inquired with their agents as to why their rates had gone up, the agents told them to check their LexisNexis consumer report. And we'll put a link to that. That's something that you can do. You can check your LexisNexis consumer report and get a copy of it. It's not easy, but you can do it. And come to find out that they had information, one gentleman in particular, on every trip that he made. One trip was 7.18 miles, and in two corners he braked a little late and went around the corner too fast, and any number of things. But what happens is that LexisNexis, I love saying that, creates this database and profile on you, and along with all the other information it collects on you, they sell that information to the insurance company, which then uses it to raise your rates. Imagine that. So, how do we deal with this? Well, in the case of the Bronco, you can go to the dash, the display screen. Down here you have setting button that says settings. You have one that says vehicle hotspot, but you have one that says connectivity. So you can click on that, and then you have a menu, connected vehicle features, Bluetooth, wireless app, and Wi-Fi, all this fancy stuff that you don't need. So we'll click on connected vehicle features, and then you get a menu of buttons that you can turn off and on. Vehicle connectivity, share vehicle data, share vehicle location, share driving data, share vehicle and analytics, share media analytics, speech recognition feedback. And then you have Ford Assistant, and down here you have one called insurance related data that's whited out on this particular one. And of course, Sirius XM with 360, I don't know what all that is. But you can see in this case we have everything turned off. And on top of that, we've also turned off vehicle connectivity. Now, the car functions just fine without all that stuff on. And so I have turned it off. I don't want it, don't need it, and I don't recommend that you have it either. There is a bulletin from Ford, or maybe even part of the package you get with your car when you buy it, that recommends that you inform passengers that get in your car that the vehicle is downloading data, recording your conversation, and sending that data to the Ford Motor Company. And we'll put a link to that paper in the description as well. This is absolutely absurd. This is the world that we live in, and it's only getting worse. So I would say to you, and one of the other things I would say to you is that if you rent a vehicle, figure out how to do a master reset on the connectivity feature in the car to wipe out all of the previous data that the car collected on all the previous rental people. And before you turn it back in, do a data wipe the second time to get rid of all the data it collected on you while you were driving it. So, these are things that people need to be aware of. The world is getting smaller and smaller, and, your data at some point is going to be used against you. The sad thing is, we pay a lot of money for these vehicles. I paid a lot of money for mine. And I don't believe anybody ever asked me if I wanted to sell my information about every aspect of my life to somebody else. But what it amounts to is that the car manufacturers sell you a product, and then without your permission, at least outwardly, use that very product that you now own to collect information on you that they can turn around and sell to somebody else. And at some point, that's not right. It's just not right. If you buy a new car, it should be made very clear to you what the car can and will do, and you should have the opportunity to opt out of any part of these programs that you want to. But no, they're hidden. In a lot of cases, the salesman will climb in the car with you and show you how all the functions work and sign in, turn on the infotainment system, whatever it is you have, and let's see your phone, and pair your phone to the car, and boom, Bob's your uncle. You're in. You didn't consent to anything. You didn't do anything, but the salesman did it for you, and you have no idea what's coming next.